Any James Bond movie starring Roger Moore as 007 is always, to my mind, a great one. None more so than The Spy Who Loved Me. In The Spy Who Loved Me, Bond travels to Egypt and meets Major Anya Amasova, KGB agent XXX. They reluctantly join forces and uncover evidence linking the plans for an advanced submarine tracking system to Swedish shipping tycoon and reclusive scientist Carol Stromberg. And while travelling by train to Stromberg's base in Sardinia, Bond saves Amasova from Jaws, and their cooling rivalry turns to affection. Part of the storyline and the plot of The Spy Who Loved Me. Well, I don't want to introduce you to two spies, James Bond 007 and XXX from the British and Russian Secret Service. But I do want to introduce you to two spies who came from Shittim. Two spies who, by their actions, demonstrated their love of God to a person, a woman called Rahab. Rahab could well have said that they were the spies who loved me, given the good and the godly impact their actions had on her future. And in our opening reflection today, as we journey with Joshua, we dive into Joshua chapter 2, a story about Rahab. And in our opening reflection today, we want to think about Rahab's field, the field in which Rahab operated by way of setting the scene. Rahab was a harlot. In other words, Rahab was a prostitute. She sold her body to men for sexual pleasure. She operated in the red light district of Jericho. That's the field in which Rahab operated, the red light district of Jericho. And before they attack the city, Joshua sends two spies into the city to examine and to assess the mood of the people and to determine whether or not they were ready for the war that was to come. And when these two spies arrived in Jericho, they went to the home of this harlot, this prostitute. They literally went into the red light district of Jericho. Now, their purpose in entering into this harlot's home, this prostitute's home, was not in and of itself immoral. Their reasons were practical. You see, the sight of men entering a harlot's home, walking about the red light district of Jericho, would not attract too much attention. Because in these days, these homes, these inns would serve as brothels. And so innkeepers, as Rahab probably was also a prostitute. But I believe these two spies, not Bond and XXX, but the two spies that Joshua sent, ended up in the red light district of Jericho because God had a very specific plan for Rahab the harlot, the prostitute, to be used in his story despite her past and despite the field she operated in. Let's read from Joshua chapter 2 about Rahab and the spies. Let's read the word of God together. And Joshua the son of Nun sent 2 men secretly from Shittim as spies, saying, "Go view the land, especially Jericho." And they went and came into the house of a prostitute whose name was Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told to the king of Jericho, "Behold, men of Israel have come here tonight to search out the land." Then the king of Jericho sent to Rahab, saying, "Bring out the men who have come to you, who entered your house, for they have come to search out all the land." But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them. And she said, "True, the men came to me, but I did not know where they were from." And when the gate was about to be closed at dark, the men went out. "I do not know where the men went. Pursue them quickly, for you will overtake them." But she had brought them up to the roof and hid them with the stalks of flax that she had laid in order on the roof. So the men pursued after them on the way to the Jordan as far as the fords, and the gate was shut as soon as the pursuers had gone out. Before the men lay down, she came up to them on the roof and said to the men, "I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that the fear of you has fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land melt away before you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the 2 kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon and Og, whom you devoted to destruction. And as soon as we heard it, our hearts melted, and there was no spirit left in any man because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in the heavens above and on the earth beneath. Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that as I have dealt kindly with you, you will also deal kindly with my father's house, and give me a sure sign that you will save alive my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them, and deliver our lives from death." And the men said to her, "Our life for yours, even to death. If you do not tell this business of ours, then when the Lord gives us the land, we will deal kindly and faithfully with you." Then she let them down by a rope through the window, for her house was built into the city wall, so that she lived in the wall. An exciting, interesting, and challenging story of how the Lord used Rahab, and how these 2 spies were instrumental as they encountered Rahab, and as they were instrumental in Joshua's plan and in God's plan. We'll discover as we unpack Joshua chapter 2 of what happened next. But join me tomorrow in Teaching Truth as we look not at Rahab's field, but at Rahab's failures.